This is Chris Jenkins along with Dustin Phifer. Welcome to the CharlotteVibe.com post-game report. Today the Panthers are now actually 1-2. They actually won today. So Dustin, let's talk about today's game. Usually at this point I go over the scoring summary, but it's pretty easy today. The Panthers scored, and scored again until they won. I think the final score was 38-0 today. Both sides of the ball played extremely well. Offensively, Cam, I think, threw about 3 touchdowns today. Defensively, there were some interceptions. There was good pressure all day, including some sacks from Greg Hardy. But Dustin, let's go ahead and let's talk about the recap of today's game.
Man, what a completely different story from a week ago. We're sitting there, we're hitting the panic button, we're 0-2, losing close games, and then the Carolina Panthers come out and put a complete effort out on the field today from both sides of the ball. You talked about it, Chris. Cam Nemwton finally let loose today, threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown, and then you talk about the other side of the ball. You talk about the defense. Anytime a defense in the NFL can pitch a shutout, that's saying something. The first shutout for the Panthers in 5 years. So, I mean, that's a big statement by this defense who was very banged up. They had 3 defensive backs out for the game, so they had a couple of guys stepping in, a guy like Robert Lester who was on the practice squad, Melvin White. So definitely stepped up to have a great game for a 38-0 win.
And I'm pretty sure that no one, including myself, expected the Panthers, with all those defensive backs, to come out and, you wanted them to win, but to say this kind of game, this kind of blowout, that you never would have expected that today.
Never in a million years on my end. I actually had the Panthers losing this game. Maybe that was just from seeing the first 2 games of the season. I knew they'd be in this game, but with the banged-up secondary like you talked about, and with an 0-2 desperate Giant team coming in here to Bank of America Stadium, and Eli Manning, a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, coming in throwing to Pro Bowl receivers like Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz. When you have your 4th and 5th cornerbacks out there playing against those type guys, you have to be a little worried. But those guys stepped up when their name was called. They even brought back in Drayton Florence, who was with them in training camp and got cut, brought him back in. He played well. So you got to tip your hat to those guys who came in and really stepped up and played a great game. And like you said, it started up front. Greg Hardy with 3 sacks, all in the first half. Charles Johnson gets 2. The defensive line was back in the backfield, hitting Eli Manning every play of the game. And like I said, a complete effort from the defense to pitch that shutout.
So let me play the casual fan to you, and I'll ask the question. So they scored 38 points today. Mm-hmm. Was it the play calling? Was it Cam Nemwton? Was it improved play, or was it improved playing? What would you say was the big difference for today's game?
You could say that you can kind of tie them all in together, but I think the biggest thing maybe was desperation. I mean, I think even the players and the coaches, they try not to hear the media or anything like that, but they read the paper, they read online, watch ESPN, watch TV just like any other fans. They know that when an NFL team starts 0-2, there's going to be a ton of questions about their team. They know that their head coach is probably on the hot seat, so they go out there and they play aggressive. They play for their coach, and maybe the coaching staff, their play calling, like you talked about, maybe it's more aggressive. I mean, look in the first quarter. They have 4th and 1. Normally in this situation, Ron Rivera likes to take the field goal. What's he do? He goes for it.
Not only does he take the field goal, in the postgame he talks about statistically what happens.
Exactly.
And that this was a safer thing to do. So, just my opinion, it seemed like Ron had the most urgency that we've seen, and he was much more aggressive from the beginning to the end of the game, which resulted in some plays. I mean, plays that I saw today you don't see.
Absolutely.
With some reverses. I think one was a read option that Cam handed off to D'Angelo. Let's talk about defensively. They got a lot of pressure on Eli today. How do you think they were able to do that?
Well, for one, I mean, we want to be crystal clear here. The Giants' offense is not that great right now. Their offensive line is probably one of the worst in the NFL. So you do have to put that in perspective. But it's still an NFL game. You still got to go out and make the plays. And the defensive line really made the plays without a starting defensive tackle in DeJuan Edwards. And you're still able to get that pressure up front. Like I said, Charles Johnson and Greg Hardy combined for 5 sacks. They had 6 sacks on Eli Manning in the first half, and the team record's 7. So they almost broke the team record in a half. So that's very impressive. Guys up front like Star Lotulelei, I mean, a rookie is unbelievable up there on the defensive front. So everybody chipped in there. The linebackers played well. One thing you did see was they decided to bench John Beeson today and go with Chase Blackburn at linebacker. Beeson's been struggling coming back from that injury. He's been a little slower. He's doing everything he can. Beeson's a great player. We love him here at Panther Nation. But when he's kind of slow coming back from that injury, you got to have somebody out there that can make plays. So they go to Chase Blackburn, who was a former Giant. Maybe he knew something about that offense a little bit, and he played well. So a complete effort on the defense. And like I said, we need to talk about the offense some more, too, because they really put some points on the board.
Yeah, we definitely will. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a special guest, Ted Ginn. I always say his name wrong. But Ted Ginn Jr. is going to be joining us here in the second half of the show. I do want to say that locker room today it was just like everybody felt all this weight come off their shoulders. The players were smiling, everybody was making jokes, and some of the guys even commented about how they wish there was a game next week because they were so happy with today's game. They don't want to keep building on that momentum. So we're going to go to our break, commercial break. I want to give a special thanks to Campbell and Associates. That's our sponsor for the game this week. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. Without your support, it wouldn't be possible. So we appreciate all that. We'll see you back here in just a second.
Hurt on the job or injured in an accident and nowhere to turn? Tell us what happened, about the accident, your injuries, your lost income, the way this has impacted your life. Some insurance companies are bullies that understand only one thing: a lawyer who fights back to win you the compensation you deserve. We are that law firm. Unless we obtain a recovery for you, there is no attorney's fee. Call us now and let us help you with your accident or your injury case. Meet us in person or talk to us on the phone. We're your lawyers.
All right, we're back with the show today, and we do have our special guest with us today, Mr. Ted. I won't say your last name because if you don't watch our videos, I mess up every time saying Ginn. But we're here with Ted Ginn Jr. First of all, not messed up again, see? But two things. First of all, congratulations on the victory today, Panthers' first victory today, and also congratulations on touchdown score today.
Thank you.
And thanks for being with us. So, Dustin, let's talk with Mr. Ginn about the game today.
Well, definitely with Ted Ginn here, much needed win. Great win today. Just talk about how you felt out there, finally getting that first win of the season.
You know, it was great. You know, to go out and just put it all together today. You know, our defense played well. You know, our offense played great. Special teams did what we could do. You know, and we just went out and just tried to take their heart, and we kind of did that today.
Finally, looks like that offense got rolling today. You got that first score, and then y'all just kept going, and like you said, carried into the second half where you had your score. Is that just kind of things where once you get into a rhythm, you got it going?
Well, yeah, you know, we try to get one thing going. You know, and early, you know, we was doing good on the run. You know, that kind of opened up the passes at the end of it, especially with Cam making the big runs that he did with his feet. You know, and making plays, and you know, it was just great just to go out and get everybody involved. You know, Brandon LaFell came out, had 2 big tubs. You know, Smitty was Smitty. He had this great route running and catching the ball, and you know, me being able to get a big play at times. You know, and we just got to get our other guys involved. You know, like Amani and Hicks. You know, and then once we come together at that core, you know, it should take us farther and farther on.
Yeah, that's a great point that you said that, because a lot of people talk about Steve Smith and Greg Olsen getting all the catches, but how about 3 touchdowns from neither one of those guys, 2 from LaFell and 1 from you? Is that what needs to happen, is more guys need to get involved?
Well, you know, as the game go on, you know, you just got to play your role, you know, and however the game is going, you know, you try to, you know, pick it up, you know, and today was Brandon Day, you know, he went out and he executed his plays, and, you know, our whole thing was to win throughout the week, you know, and Brandon was running his routes hard, and doing his thing throughout the week, and it paid off for him on Sunday, just as well as us.
Now, everybody knows that you're one of the best punt returners in the NFL, if not the best, but you pride yourself on being a receiver as well, and you knew coming here to Carolina that you'd get that opportunity. Well, second straight game with a touchdown, so just talk about how you're starting to feel, and then talk about your touchdown a little bit today.
Well, you know, I'm just going out and I'm just playing comfortably. You know, I'm not no starter or nothing like that, so, you know, I have the opportunity just to go out and create plays and just make things work, you know, and, you know, just being involved in the offense. You know, I don't need every ball, you know, but I just want to be able just to get the ones that come to me, you know. And today I let the game come to me, and Cam did too, and, you know, we're connecting on, you know, a couple plays before there, but we was able to get the big ball today.
How important is it? I think fans don't understand when you're looking at 0-2 already, and you've got a bye week coming up, knowing, you know, not a lot of teams 0-3 have made the playoffs. So you get this win, and now you feel good going into your bye week. How important was that?
Well, it's very important, you know, just to know where you're at. You know, you kind of get a big break early in your season, but you know, it's just a time to go and maintain and retune and, you know, tune things up, and, you know, just get involved in just ourselves and know what we do good, what we don't do good, you know, and just continues to come out every week and just play as we know how.
Now,
I have a quick
go
question
ahead. Sure.
for you, Ted. I remember on a play, you were on the right side going down, and Cam missed you long on the pass. I think he was a little short. And you came back. I saw you kind of talk to him. Did you exchange any words about, you know, let's try it again when he went to hit you deep?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is to keep your quarterback confident. You know, and the worst thing is to go back and holler at him. You know, so we just try to go back we talk among each other.
Keyshawn howled at his quarterback, though.
I mean, hey, but Keyshawn was a different player.
Exactly.
So you just try to go back and keep him as much spirit and confidence that he have throughout the game, and whenever you could come and just make a play for him, like the 3rd down to 12, it's not no big deep pass, it's not down the field, but he get it right now, and he's able for me to be able to move, use my shoes, and just as well as everybody else, and as long as we continue to nickel and dime, you'll be able to go out and get them chunks whenever you want to.
Well, Chris brought it up, and I have a question about the quarterback position. This is the 2nd straight year that you played with a great young quarterback. So you played with Colin Kaepernick last year. You're here with Cam Newton this year. What are the differences, similarities in these two guys? Two guys who get talked about a lot. Two young quarterbacks who can really do a lot of things.
Well, the best thing that both of them that they have is they can make plays with their feet. And that's what opened up a lot of things as far as running the ball, passing the ball, and those two guys are two great premier quarterbacks that I see should be in this league for a long time, and they continue just to grow as a quarterback and do the things that they know how to do. I mean, their ability and their mind strength and all that will take over.
And we saw that with Cam today. I think this was the first week he really started to use his legs. That's what we need to see more for the rest of the year as well?
Well, yeah. But I just really say he used his legs when he had to. And as long as he know, when it's time to use them, it just make our team be 110 instead of 100.
All right, well, what we like to do here at Charlotte Vibe is kind of let you, get to know the players. So we like to interact with our fans. And just a quick rapid fire here. We know you're an Ohio State guy, so you still watch them every weekend, pull for them on and off?
Still an Ohio State guy, still a Buckeye guy, still a Cleveland Browns fan, still an Indians fan, the Cavs.
What's the biggest college in the locker room? I know we got a few Ducks over there. What's the biggest, most represented college over there?
Well, it's a couple of us Ohio State guys in there. Me, Hartsock, and we try to rap as much as we can, and just being around Charlotte, there's a lot of Buckeyes.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a lot of people saying OHIO, and it's just great.
Now you went there for football and track, and our fan question of the day was they wanted to know what your 40 time is right now. Now we know out of college you were like 4.37, 4.4 right there.
I was 4.35 with a broke foot.
So right now what you got?
Right now, I don't know. I'm still in that 4.3 range. Hey man, just take me about 2 weeks. I get it right.
Easily fastest guy on the team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, now speaking on that, I don't know if you know, but we also do a show called Behind the Helmet, where I'll sit with you guys, kind of talk a little bit more one-on-one. Also, at the end of the show, there's a challenge.
Yeah.
Last year, I spoke with Armand Smith. I don't know if you're familiar with the guy or not.
Yeah.
But he wanted to race me, and I said, nah, we wouldn't do it. But so.
You played Madden, right?
Instead, we played Madden, and he got me with a Smitty pass on the last play to win it. So, what did you say? I know you didn't even know this was coming, but what about you appearing on the show, and let's do a 40-yard race?
No doubt, let's do it.
We can do it?
Yep.
All right. There you go. You heard. He said we can do it, so we'll set that up.
Well, we'll get you out of here with this one. Like I said, a great win today. Just talk about what your goals are, and as a team for the rest of the year for the Carolina Panthers.
Well, just to go out and just play sound. The more sound we play, the more fun that we have like we had today. The goal is to make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate goal. I'm a big guy. Just let things happen. And as you let things happen, you see like greatness come behind it. So, I'm just gonna go out, continue just to practice hard and play my position and control what I can control. And after that, big things should happen.
Any words for your fans out there? We got a lot of fans who really talk about you on Twitter. So any words you want to give them?
Yeah, let's also make sure we let them know the Twitter account as well.
Absolutely.
Go Bucks. Go Glenville. Go Panther Nation.
Keep pounding.
Just keep pounding, man. You can give me a Instagram, Ted Ginn Jr. _19 or Twitter, the same name. So I'm out there, man. I don't do too much on there. I really don't talk a lot, but I read and I look.
Absolutely.
So I enjoy. So thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me be a Panther. And best wishes to you guys and to our season.
All right, well, that's Ted. I can't say his name. That's Ted Jr., Dustin Phifer. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. The Panthers are off next week. They'll be back in action in 2 weeks. We ask you to continue to tune in, and thanks for watching.